There's another problem with the IELTS instructors. I know some of them in regions. They've got 6.5 or 6 and they teach IELTS. And their students, when they get 4.55, they blame test centers or examiners because their argument is my teacher used to give me 7 for my speaking.
And then there's the thing which you mentioned about getting a 7 from speaking, like the teacher is awarding me a 7 and the examiner is not, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest problem that lies there is the teacher's inability to understand the band descriptors.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Yes.
Because
they're not trained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for example, if you want to be an examiner, you got to go through obviously the proper trainings and whatnot. But there are public versions of the band descriptors available online.
Yes.
And that's what I do. That's how I mark students, right? So there's band descriptors and they're going to be, if they fall exactly in that criteria, I'm going to put a 6. If they fall exactly in 4, I'm going to put a 4. There's just, it's in black and white. There's nothing to it. But the problem there happens is, okay, so I get a student and I award them a 4 because the band descriptor says it's a 4. The student goes somewhere else and that teacher awards them a 7, right? The problem there happens is that now I'm being blamed as being too strict. And when they go in the exam, they end up getting a 4.5. Because obviously, if I think as a mock examiner, if I think this student is a 4 or a 4.5, I'm going to give them a 4. Because on the exam, I don't know if they're going to have a bad day or a good day.
Yeah.
Right? But the examiner is supposed to give them a 4.5 if he thinks that's a 4 or 4, because it's in the examiner guidelines to do so. Right? So that's mock exams are supposed to be even more strict than the actual exams, but that's something that people here fail, or students here fail to understand, that when you go for a mock exam, it's actually supposed to be more sort of, you have to grind yourself more to get that result that you have to do in the exam. And that's why whenever I have candidates, I always struggle when I'm awarding high band scores. Like I've got students and I struggle with 8 and 9s and 7.5s because that area for me is like, okay, because that's a very dangerous area. I have to be very careful to everything that they say. And the job as a mock examiner is even more difficult then, because you have to be really careful because you're going to be accountable. You meet that person every day, right? So when you do mock exams, I think you have to be extremely careful.
You should be realistic.
Exactly, yeah.